Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Before that, I would like to wish you Ramadan Karim. Selamat menyambut bulan puasa di bulan Ramadan. Semoga bulan ni walaupun kita lapar, dahaga, tak larat kan, dengan bosannya lagi sempena PKP ni, harapnya kita masih produktif lah. Okay, so today we're going to continue with our chapter 4 for plant physiology course, and this chapter 4 is on the regulation of the plant metabolism. Okay, so this figure, it shows a summary on the processes happening in plants. Okay, so these processes yang akan contribute to the byproducts which involved in the plant metabolism. So contohnya, okay, kejap nak try ni. Let's try color yellow. Okay, so for example, processesnya is this one is photosynthesis, respiration, photorespiration, and then transpiration, what else? Translocation, transduction, water exchange. Okay, so these are the normal processes yang happening in plants, yang it will contribute to the plant metabolism. Okay, so as mentioned previously, banyak-banyak kali dah, in chapter 2 we even learned this on photosynthesis. So this is a summary on the photosynthesis, and we know that photosynthesis is one of the essential and important processes happening in plants. So kalau tak ada photosynthesis tu, takkan menjadilah plants tu. Okay, so plants and photosynthesis, they are equal. Okay, so they need each other, they complement each other. Okay, so photosynthesis, as we know, we need carbon dioxide, we need water coming in, and also we are transforming the sunlight energy into chemical energy. Okay, kemudian the result of the photosynthesis, carbohydrates will be formed as a food, okay, for the plants, and also they will release some oxygen for who? For human, for animals, and for other life forms besides plants. Okay, so this is the most important equation in biology, and let's see first. So we have carbon dioxide, and then we have water, then we need the light and also some enzymes. Then the result of this is this glucose, and also oxygen and water. So I hope by now you should know what this equation is about. Okay, so undoubtedly this equation is for photosynthesis. Okay, so this is a figure that outlines the plant metabolism, and as mentioned tadi kan, plant metabolism tu all the normal processes inside the plants. For example, we have this photosynthesis, and then we have this respiration. Okay, so contohnya photosynthesis tadi, it will produce some sugar, okay, in terms of the glucose. So this sugar will be used for different function in plants. So some of them akan digunakan sebagai starch, some of them akan digunakan sebagai building blocks for the cell walls, okay, and some of them is for other plant compounds for other plant use. Okay, so kalau respiration pun dia akan menghasilkan all those carbon dioxide, water, and that will be used by other life forms. Okay, so in plant metabolism there are two different categories, and we simply name it as primary and secondary metabolism. So primary metabolism, it will produce ataupun it involves primary metabolites. So on the other hand, for the second category of plant metabolism, secondary metabolism will involve secondary metabolites. Okay, so this one, we're going to look first at the primary metabolites as the result of the primary metabolism. So primary metabolites are the compounds that are commonly produced by all plants and that are directly used in plant growth and development. Okay, so I think I'm gonna try to use the highlighter here, and let's try green color. Okay, so what we need to know is primary metabolites are the compounds produced by all plants. Okay, so we should know this, all plants, and also it is involved in the growth and development. Okay, so remember these two key points, important points. Primary metabolites are compounds that are produced by all plants. Tak kisahlah dia tu plants dekat terrestrial ke, dekat aquatic ke, dia tu jenis yang perennial ke, jenis yang annual ke, dia tu herbs ke ataupun bukan herbs ke. Okay, it doesn't matter as long as they are in the category of Plantae, okay, kingdom Plantae, then they must produce primary metabolites. Because primary metabolites, dia punya primary function dia is for growth and development. Okay, jadi semua plants bila dia hidup je, dia mesti nak grow and develop. So in order for them to grow and develop, they will need these primary metabolites. So what are the the elements, the groups for primary metabolites is this one: carbohydrate, proteins, nucleic acid, and also lipid. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4. So kita akan tengok one by one after this. Okay, let's switch to pen again, and I want to use red lah this time. Okay, so the first primary metabolite that we're going to look at is the carbohydrate. Okay, so if you still remember, dekat the equation of the photosynthesis tu, the result of the photosynthesis tu is carbohydrate ataupun glucose. Okay, so carbohydrates are the sugars made up of glucose. Okay, so it's very easy. So for sugar, there are the three different category. So we have the monosaccharides, we have disaccharides, and also polysaccharides. So from the name itself, kita macam boleh tahu apa sebenarnya. Okay, so contohnya monosaccharide. So when we come across anything with mono, it means one. So what does it mean? It is made up of one sugar unit only. For example, glucose and also fructose. Okay, the next one is di. So when we come across anything with di, it means two. So what does it mean? It is made up of two sugar units. So for example, sucrose. Sucrose is a disaccharide which is made up from a glucose and a fructose. Okay, so glucose and fructose tadi both are the monosaccharides. Okay, the last one is the poly. Okay, so poly ni anytime when we come across with poly, maksudnya it must be more than two. Dia dah plural lah, dia dah lebih daripada dua. Tak kisah dah 3, 4, 5, 200 ke 100 ke. Okay, so is the polymer. So bila dia dah panjang sangat, then we call it a polymer. See the word poly as well, yeah, made up of more than two sugar units. Okay, so remember carbohydrates are sugar and made up of glucose. Okay, so there are three categories. We have monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. And how to know the difference between these saccharides is from the name itself. So mono meaning one sugar unit, di meaning two sugar units, and poly meaning more than two sugar units. And it is in the type of polymer. Okay, so this is an example on how to synthesize sucrose. So if you still remember, sucrose is a type of disaccharide and it is synthesized from glucose and fructose. And glucose and fructose both are monosaccharides. Okay, so dia satu je glucose. So you can see here, okay, glucose dia monosaccharide. So dia ada satu je. Satu je glucose. Dia satu je satu unit. Kemudian fructose pun is a monosaccharide, so one unit. Sucrose is di. So di ada dua kan? So dia ada 1 and 2 unit. Okay? So in order to synthesize sucrose, we have to have the glucose and also the fructose. And then if you see here, the bond here, dia ada OH kat sini. So we're gonna break the bond here. break bond here, break the bond here.